Hi students, in this video we'll be completing the second part of module 3. Okay, so first part I have given in the first video which I couldn't finish, so I've made a second video completing all the remaining contents. So let's see what all contents are remaining. So, the contents that are remaining are safety measures to be taken for hot bituminous work, scaffolding and form work. So, there are total 4 safety measures in your syllabus, that is excavation, blasting and drilling, that is done in the previous video. So, third one is hot bituminous work, and then fourth one is scaffolding and form work. So that is one content. Second one is storage of materials. So under storage of materials, for example, it can be any engineering, civil engineering materials. What care, like what sort of care are you going to take? That is about storage of material. Third one is safety campaigns, and fourth is safety through legislation. Okay, so according to the safety law, what kind of laws, in which year it is published, and about all that you will be studying. So this contents will finish third part of second part of third module. Okay. Hot bituminous work, safety measures that you're going to take during this usage of during the formation of bituminous and its work. So first point is, those working with bitumen and boilers must be trained. Okay, so make sure that you have a trained and a skilled engineer or a supervisor during this action of event of fire, and in first aid treatment and procedures for dealing with bitumen burns. Okay, even if bitumen causes accident like burns and all such things, make sure that you have a trained supervisor. Okay, that is first point. Second is, care should be taken when using and storing materials. Okay, so anything related to it, matches and lighters, it should be not used at that like care should be taken while using such things. Third one is, keep the hot work area clean, tidy and free from any combustible materials. Right, you need to keep that area clean and tidy, because it is anything could happen. Any carelessness within the area can lead it to like bursting up, right? So next point is, bitumen is heated only to the temperature required for the particular application. So for one particular application there will be standard temperature used, so not less not more. So whatever temperature is required, that temperature itself bitumen should be heated up. So next is, suitable protective clothing, goggles and gloves are supplied to the ones who is operating this. So clothing, goggles and all the safety gloves they are going to use before making such work. Next is, dust is suppressed and reduced as minimum as possible. Okay, make sure that the area is dustless when you are operating bituminous work. Next is, bitumen products and solvents are not split on the ground or into ditches. Okay, so make sure that bitumen products are not split on the ground and also in water courses, right? Handle it carefully. Next is, any bitumen products or solvents which are split are to be removed immediately. Okay. Next point is, waste or overheated bitumen or solvents are not disposed of by burning, because it will be already heated, that through burning process, you are not going to do that. Because of the highly flammable nature of the solvent, great care should be taken. Okay, students, make sure that heavy care about this process is taken for the safety. So these are the points which you are going to keep in your mind before starting this work. So the last safety measure is for scaffolding, ladders, formwork and other equipment. I am very sure that you all know what scaffolding is, right? In order to do the painting work and plastering and all such things for major heights, right? You provide scaffolding one over the other, right? There are ladders, there are formworks. So when you are working under that, how are you going to take care? Okay, let's see. First point is, every scaffold should be securely supported and suspended and properly braced to ensure stability, right? When you're working in heights, make sure that whatever scaffold you're going to provide, that it is properly supported. It's very important, or else anyone can lead to accidents, right? It should be properly braced, it should be properly supported. That is first point. Second point is, all scaffolds and working platforms should be securely fastened to the building or a structure. Okay, it should be supported to the building, right? It should be supported very tightly to the building. Third point is, if scaffolds are to be used to a greater for a long period of time, regular plank stairway wide enough to allow two people should pass, right? If you are scaffold or the building construction is going to take a long period, and if you are going to place the scaffolds for a long time, then regular plank should be done. Okay, stairways where two people can pass through it. Make sure about that, and it should be erected with handrails on both the sides. Okay, if it is a 10-story building or 20-story building or more than that, it is very risky. So take care about this. Even a handrail should be provided, or from either side people can fall by any chance. So next is, all scaffolds should be erected and dismantled by workman who is thoroughly experienced in the erection and dismantling of scaffolding, right? You or me, we can't construct the scaffolds, even though it looks simple. It needs a skilled person to do that, to also to construct that, also to dismantle it. So make sure that you need a good workman who is thoroughly experienced, okay, in this field. So next point is, all scaffolds should be inspected by a competent person at least every 3 days, okay, after erection, and the results of inspection should be recorded. So those after constructing the scaffolds, an inspector should come and check every 3 days, and should record the details, okay, and then make sure the record shall be kept available for checking by the employer's respective. Okay, so they are going to have a record of everything. All scaffolds shall be constructed of sound materials, free from defects, right? You want to have a good material. It shouldn't be defective, or it shouldn't have defects. Next is, the use of barrels, boxes, loose tiles or other unsuitable material shall not be used as supports. Okay, all these tiles are very slippery and very not suitable, so don't use all that for your supporting the platform. Next is, during dismantling of scaffolds, necessary precautions should be taken to prevent injury to the person due to the fall of loose materials, bracings or any other parts, right? When you dismantle the scaffolding, make sure that care is taken while dismantling. Even while dismantling, those heavy planks shouldn't fall under someone who is below it. Okay, nobody should be affected, so make sure about that. Next is all operators and supervisors of machines should be thoroughly trained in operating the machines and equipment, right? Again, the similar point that all the ones who is operating such machines should be very thorough. Next is ropes and connections should be thoroughly checked before use. Make sure that you are going to check about ropes and other connections for your safety. So these are the points that you are going to consider while while constructing the scaffolds. Okay. So next concept is storage of materials. So when you store the materials, what all care should be taken, safety should be taken. Let's see. First is about cement. Cement should be stored in a damp-proof place, right? It should be stored in a damp-proof place so that it doesn't get affected. The stock should not be more than 30 bags and at least 30 centimeter away from the work, right? More than 30 bags will lead it to overloading, which will anyway which will go waste. As in, limit should be there, that is 30 bags and at least 30 centimeter away from the work. Okay, otherwise cement is likely to form into lumps. Students, you all know what lumps is, no? The cement forms as a round thick ball, so that is not advisable later for the work. So you have to take care about that. Sand and aggregate should be staked on firm ground and in bins. This will avoid soil and dust getting mixed with the sand and aggregate, right? It's simple. You all can understand this. Next is about brick. Brick shall not be dumped at site. Okay, they should be staked on level ground to minimize breakage. Height of the stake should be limited to 1.5 centimeters. So don't place the bricks over the ground directly. It should be staked in level surface. And next point is about timbers. Timber plywood should be stored separately in a neat stakes. Adequate space should be left in between the stakes to avoid fire hazard. Smoking and open fires should be prohibited in the timber yards. So make sure you separately keep the timbers and provide space between the timbers. Okay, and smoking and all such uh, um, things which lead to fire shouldn't be happening. So next is about petroleum products. Petroleum products should be separately stored. Okay, smoking and open fire should be strictly prohibited when these products are stored, right? It can explode or else. So care should be taken about that. Next is adequate firefighting arrangements should be provided at site, particularly in areas where petroleum products and timbers are stored. Okay, where petroleum and timber products are stored, you need to have firefighting arrangements because we can't be sure about anything can happen. It is highly dangerous. So make sure that you are going to be in a safer side. So provide fire safety arrangements. Next is about explosives. Explosives must be stored in a proper magazine and prescribed safety measures for handling and storing explosive should be observed. So you can't drag and keep explosive anywhere and anywhere you want. So care should be taken about that. Steel reinforcement bars should be staked section wise. Okay, so these are the points you are going to consider while you store the materials. Okay, keep this in mind. They can ask you about this. So next concept is safety campaign. Okay, why this safety campaign is started? As we know that our construction field is very risky and accidents can happen. Okay, Okay, so you need to educate people about safety. You need to start safety campaigns and follow that and educate, give educational program to people, your workers, and this is how accident can reduce by educating them. So that is all required. So I'll read this out. First point is, with increase in the number of accidents in the construction industry, it has become essential to educate people in regard to safety measures, right? Since the number of accident has been increased, so you need to educate people about safety measures. Here they tell, it is the duty of management to provide a safe working environment to workers through safety measure, right? It is a duty and responsible of the management to do this work, right? To keep their environment safe for work. One way of making people aware of safety measures is to launch safety campaigns, right? In addition to providing preventive measures at the site of the work, right? You educate people about this, it's going to help them. Second point is, frequent exchange of ideas between labor and management would help in minimizing the accident rate, right? Between management and labor, you put in each other's thoughts and views and all the safety things in the work, and everyone is going to know about that. By this way you can minimize the accident rate. A continuing education programs using posters, booklets, film lectures and discussions with emphasis on supervisory safety training will prove effective in reducing the accident rate. So what all things you can use by this education programs? Posters, right? You post posters. Booklets, you'll have booklets before using any equipment, how to use, what are the safety precautions about that. Film lectures, okay, you're going to have a conversation, someone is going to lecture you about safety and discussions, right? This will help you reduce the accident. Third point, accidents results in loss of life, property and reputation of the construction agencies, right? Through accident your life is also gone, property is also gone. Also, which company is it, through which company is this accident going to occur? It's going to put a very bad name on the construction agencies. Accidents adversely affect the progress of work and have a demoralization effect on construction team, right? So accident is one term that shouldn't happen. So to reduce that, please follow safety rules. That is why safety is very important. So here are some compensation. Compensation are provided if and in case employer shall have, one thing is injury disabling him for a period for more than 3 days, right? If the injury is more than 3, is going to affect him for more than 3 days, then they are going to provide compensation. Have an injury resulting in death caused by an accident, right? In case of death is if a person dies because of accident, and if he is not under alcohol, drinks or any other drug, then compensation will be provided. No disobedience of the worker to the orders issued for the safety of the workers, right? So these are the features where employer will be compensated if and in case they are injured through these points. Okay, so next is safety through legislation. Okay, this is the last concept of this part. Let's see what is under that. So the last concept is safety through legislation, right? In our industry, why legislation is important is because, see, let me read. First is to improve our work condition. Okay, to improve our work condition, you need this. Determining the terms of employers as well as employees. That's second point. Third is to provide social security like compensation in case accident and disaster happens for the employees, they are going to provide compensation through this act. Then is regulating the relationship between employers and employees, right? You need to have a healthy relation between your workers. So about that they'll give information. Last is safeguarding the lives of workmen or the welfare of workers. So basically this legislation is provided to improve the work condition. Also the workers, they provide compensation and take care of them. So this is the act that has been come up, and there are various acts under this. Let's read it out. So these are some important acts, okay? Payment Wages Act, Minimum Wages Act, Workmen Compensation Act, Industrial Dispute Act, Indian Trade Union Act, and Factories Act. So these are few acts. So this will complete second part of your third module. In further days, I'll make videos on third part of third module. So if you finish third part, then we will finish unit 3. Module 3 will complete.